Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV, and hello to our friends who are listening on Business Talk Radio. I am Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is the United Kingdom news and culture. And boy, do we have a show for you. Not only do we have my co-host Diann Floyd Boehm, but our expert correspondents are joining us as well. We've got Pelham Turner, Helena Chard, and Simon Macdonald. So let's bring them out. Welcome, everyone. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hello from sunny Boston.
Nice to see you. And Helena is not at her computer at the moment. We'll bring her out in a second. So this is a great show. Simon, you're on the road traveling. You're actually here in the United States, and I wish we were there to greet you. But
yeah, it's lovely to be back this side of the pond again. It's been a bit too long, but I've been flying the Scottish flag over here for our fisheries industry at the Boston International Seafood Expo in this magnificent hall that they've got here. The exhibition conference center here is vast and a superb show. So today I'm not in my usual place covered with antique paintings and so on the wall, but I'm in the lobby at the Boston Hyatt Regency Hotel, right in the center of this beautiful town. Lovely, lovely place. And it's so nice to be back.
and you're looking quite dapper, don't you think, Ian? Yes. Diann?
Absolutely. But Simon always does. He shines the light for Scotland every single time.
That's it. Your check's in the post, Ian.
Did you wear your kilt?
I've been flying the flag big time. I've been over here. I've been wearing my kilt every day at the show, and I mean, it's amazing the reaction that we've had. I mean, every 2 steps I take, somebody's stopping and saying, "Got to have a photograph of this man wearing the kilt." You know, and they love it. And I mean, one of the stand holders even came up and thrust 3 big jars of caviar into my hand and said, "Can I have your photograph with you, please? Please hold up the beluga blue caviar." So I was delighted to, of course.
That's fantastic. Let's welcome Helena to the show as well. Hi, Helena.
Hi. How you doing?
Good to see you. So, Simon, we have a picture of you in the kilt. Tell us a little bit about this fabulous outfit. I'm loving it.
Well, it's the most comfortable thing to wear. In the winter months, well, the kilt, it's nice and warm. There's 9 yards of material there. It weighs quite a bit. And in the summer months, you've got natural air conditioning. So, what better outfit could you wear?
Simon, is it a skirt or is it a skirt?
Well, the last person that called it a skirt got killed.
Sorry, is it a kilt skirt or a kilt?
It's a kilt.
Okay.
Period.
You're living dangerously today, Dr. Jacalyn.
Well, I love that outfit.
It's a kilt. It's if the female species wears it would be really classed as a skirt. But it all depends on the pleating as well. And they all say, let the wind blow high and the wind blow low. Not a problem with these. The sporran holds it down at the front, which is quite important. And then the pleats, there's so many pleats at the back, you can't actually lift it up to see what we wear underneath. My only problem at the exhibition center in Boston was the escalator, very long escalator going down on all sides. I had to be very careful how I placed myself. Yeah, there it is. That was the difficult one to get by.
So you put on quite a show.
Probably a bigger show than it was actually meant to be, or am I boasting?
People were leaving the event and just flocking to the escalator.
Well, they were. I mean, there was a reception committee waiting down at the bottom. More photographs. it was the cheeky ones that were down at the side of the escalator trying to photograph from there. But it was a fabulous show. We had an amazing reception there. We had quite a big pavilion, which was run by Seafood Scotland, and they're a government-based organisation, a bit like the regional Inshore Fisheries group, of which I'm chair. And we had quite a number of exhibitors from Scotland on the pavilion. We were pushing the new markets for langoustine to try and get them into the USA. Well, the people that came around to the stand, we had the USA, we had Canada, we had France, we had Taiwan, we had Vietnam, we had so many countries from around the world. We even had somebody who came from England as well. I couldn't believe it. That's the gang. We all went across there in one of the restaurants. And last night we had our grand finale for the evening at a magnificent Scottish pub and restaurant called The Haven. It's the only Scottish pub in Boston. Anybody going there must try out really genuine Scottish hospitality there. Absolutely sensational night we had. And I think there's quite a few people this morning didn't quite make it. Probably still haven't made it yet.
And are these friends that you had going in there, or you made friends with these people?
Oh, no. These are all part of the team that we came over. I mean, it was a big Scottish invasion. We've got a selection of fishermen there. And then there's Donna Fordyce. She's the chief executive of Seafood Scotland. She's the lady on the third from the left. And then Sally James, who's virtually became my official photographer going around the show. People saying, take the photograph of me, and poor Sally was having to click away all the time. The tall chap up on the left there, he's Matthew Hurst. He's also one of the leading lights of Seafood Scotland on the exhibition side. And it was so well organised. It really was. It was great fun. We had just had such a absolute blast from start to finish.
It looks like a fabulous event. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Oh, it was great. I can't wait for next year. Next month, well, I'll be doing the same thing again, but it's in Barcelona. So that's it. So the kilt will off the dry cleaners and get it all spruced up again and my shoes polished and off to Barcelona. At least the weather will be better there. We had lovely horizontal snow on Saturday there, which froze immediately. It stuck to the cars. So it was good Scottish weather we had then.
I was going to say you brought it home.
Well, we were threatened with a snow bomb, which is pretty serious stuff from the eastern seaboard. But it seemed to more or less miss us. But we did get a good flurry of it just to let us know it's there.
And Simon, when do you fly back home?
I go back home tonight, about 10:30 tonight. My plane gets me in then to London at 9:15 in the morning, and then a connecting flight up to Glasgow, and then another 2.5 hour drive to get back home. And I'll be sort of going like that as well, propping my eyes open with a lot of matchsticks, I think, to keep myself sane.
It's a long way to go. Well, safe travels, and thank you again. I love seeing, what your experience was there. Obviously, I have not been to a seafood convention. How about any of you?
No.
Yeah, lots to eat there. Good stuff too.
So did the fishermen meet other fishermen and talk about skills and tips and things like that? What goes on at a conference?
It was the processors. I mean, it was a huge international exhibition. And we had all sorts of different types of fish and shellfish there, and the stalls were there to attract buyers in, and big wholesalers were coming there. I mean, there was a lot of money changing hands at the show this time. It was absolutely incredible. It was lovely to see, and it was nice to be able to get out to play again, which is, we've had 2 years stuck. Helena, you're a bit late. You've picked it up at the end. I'm sorry, my voice is going a bit creaky. I've been talking so much the last 3 days.
Oh, Simon, I didn't even realise. I thought you were back. So I didn't realise you were in a hotel room.
Oh, I'm in the lobby of the Hyatt Regency, right in the centre of Boston, and it's far too convenient for some very expensive shops. And I've got a bit of time to waste there spare this afternoon, so after the show, so that's it. I'll burn the bucks for you.
Should we send you our sizes?
Yeah.
I bought a Ferrari when I was here.
Oh, I saw that.
I bought a Ferrari.
Seriously?
Yeah, we went to an amazing place called Italy, and it's this huge, big Italian center. It's a superstore, all food and drink, and they've got restaurants in it as well. It's an amazing place, and I was immediately grabbed by this champagne, fizzy wine called Ferrari. So I thought, oh, great, so that was it. So I sent an email to a friend who's just bought a lovely Bentley, and I said, oh, I'm in Boston today. Guess what? I've just bought a Ferrari. The reply comes back, how the heck are you going to get that in your hand luggage?
What color did you get?
It's in a lovely green bottle.
Yeah, I thought you meant a car.
Well, that was the general idea. As soon as I saw that, I can buy a Ferrari in Boston and actually take it home in a suitcase. That's pretty good. So I've got in my suitcase now. I've got a Ferrari and I've got a load of beluga blue caviar as well. We don't waste our time here. We enjoy our food and we dine well. Why not?
So for the producers, do they ask you things like why should I buy a Scottish salmon over an Atlanta salmon?
Yeah. Well, what I was doing was promoting in particular our beautiful langoustine. So the potential buyer or wholesaler would come to me and ask about them. And I point out, well, I'm actually sort of working on a wing of Scottish government. So what I was there to do was to see what they want, and if they then email me all the specification they want. Do they want it fresh? Do they want it frozen? Do they want just the tails? Whatever they want, and the quantity that they're looking for as well, and the regularity. So I'll gather all that information together and build a profile, and I can work out which processors in Scotland or the exporters would be the best ones for them to work with. So then I'll contact those exporters and processors and put them in touch with the buyer, and the buyer likewise I'll put them in touch with and they can broker their own deal. Cuts out all the middleman and hopefully speeds things up. We've even got Delta Airlines now very interested. They had a long talk with me, and he turns out he's a yachtsman like myself. So we got on absolutely famously. So they're coming over to Edinburgh now. They want to open a big hub in Edinburgh, so it'll speed up the whole supply chain coming back to America. So that alone is a big success because it opens an awful lot of doors for us.
Congratulations!
Exciting, yes, congratulations.
Great fun. It was showtime.
Well, when I look at this, I don't know if I shared this with you guys, but I'm deathly allergic to airborne shellfish. So when I go into the grocery store, I have to hold my breath. Like I can't, or I have to bypass that whole section of the store. So
we're carrying you out of there with a stretcher.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'd be there to catch you at the bottom of the escalator, along with the whole load of paparazzi waiting to catch me with my kilt.
Well, thank you for sharing all of that, Simon. That's really fascinating and great pictures again as well. And I know we've got some news, Helena and Ian.
Yeah, we have. I just want to say one thing though. Thank you, Simon. For me, I love seeing seafood and ice. I've always, from a very, very young age, I've found it quite exciting. I just enjoy it, all the different colours and everything. It's something really quite exciting. Yeah. So I thought I'd just add that. So thank you, Simon.
It is. It's an exciting thing to work with as well, because you can create so many dishes. I mean, with these langoustine, they're like a little lobster. Yeah. And so, I cook with those, love them. It's such a sweet, delicate meat. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but with the heads, you can make the most amazing stock. And when the stock's cooled down, you pour them into ice cube trays, put them in the freezer, and you've got little homemade ice cubes, stock cubes.
There you go. Thank you so much. Do you know what? I think we should move over to the news because we've got some great things to celebrate.
Yes.
Something that and I'm sure everyone is incredibly excited about is Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe, I hope I've got that right, has been freed. I am absolutely elated. I'm hopefully along with so many other people. It's been a horrible time over the last 6 years. She's been fighting to get out of jail, literally. She's a British Iranian citizen, for people that don't know. She was arrested by the Iranian authorities for supposedly conspiring against the country. When she went over there as a charity worker, her husband Richard and her 7-year-old daughter have been fighting. The whole family's been fighting for 6 years to get her out, and she has been released. And I'm so excited. I think she's actually on the aeroplane now, travelling back to London. She lives in West Hampstead, which is not very far from myself and from Ian. And I just can't believe it. So, we've got obviously Russian invading Ukraine. There's so many things going on which are not great news. So to have this suddenly, like this diamond, twinkly diamond, I'm absolutely so excited. Richard, he went through 2 hunger strikes. He has absolutely tirelessly campaigned to free Nazanin. And all his hard work has obviously paid off. And the ridiculous thing about it is, all of this is political. It's all ridiculous, and apparently something like a 400 to 450,000 pounds. Was it more than that? I think it was more.
It was 400 million.
It's million. I was actually about to say, is it billion? 400 million, just over 400 million pounds has been paid by our government. And it's something which dates back to the 70s. It's something ridiculous. But yeah, so excited. I wish we had some footage in a way, but it's quite breaking news. So that's really, really fabulous. We've got some fabulous clips as well to show, but I think another thing that's been very much part of the UK here at the moment is we have a scheme. It's 150,000 people have actually registered for it, and it's register home for the Ukraine Home for the Ukraine scheme, I think it's called, and you have to nominate somebody from Ukraine or a family to host them. And it's a new thing that our government has rolled out. I mean, so many people absolutely push themselves to to get online to register. So many people want to obviously to house Ukrainian people. The first family, I do hope you can hear me. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
I'm hoping, because I can hear lots of outside noise, and I thought I'll just check. The first family has been brought over. Her mother, Leandra, I think, and the 7-year-old daughter, Helena, and they're going to be moving in shortly to a family in Hampshire. But the funny thing about it is, to nominate a family, you have to actually know somebody in Ukraine or know of these people. And these people that have come over, this first family, apparently they met on Facebook. But it's an unusual situation, because how would you know necessarily? Anyway, one of those things. And we've got some other fantastic news. Ian, are you wanting to interject with things?
I think at the moment we are obviously very much talking about Ukraine, obviously, because it's the most terrible thing. We're also looking at the Queen, I think, as well, Helena, because the Queen, we had what's known as the Commonwealth Day, which for the past 40 odd years the Queen has attended every year, apart from 2 years when she was unwell. And apparently now she's finding it a lot harder to walk than before, and I know the feeling. In fact, I always wonder if she's going to have one of these royal go-karts soon, or some butler who will be sort of sending her down the aisle in one of these machines to get her down the aisle again. Perhaps it might even have a royal crest on the side of it as well. I mean, the whole mind boggles over how's the Queen going to become mobile. And obviously, at the moment, the thing that Helena and I are working on right now is the projects from the 2nd to the 5th of June, which is at the Athenaeum Hotel in London, which is really going to be, again, 70 years of the Queen's reign, and how we've taken our part in it. Not really. But you know, and how the really the changes that have been made as well, and all the things. And guess what? It's all for Americans. This hotel is having a major amount of Americans coming over for that period. So we're going to be teaching Americans the real life story of royal afternoon teas.
Exciting. Woo! I wish Diann and I were going to be there.
Well, you can be in spirit.
Yes, that is for sure. Diann, you're on mute.
Yeah, I know. That's so exciting. You know, we have so many of us Americans just love you guys so much, and we know that our ancestors from there, and it's just, I'm really proud that a lot of Americans will be there, and you will teach them the right thing.
Yeah, I think the reality is that we want obviously visitors back. I'm sure Simon will say the same for Scotland as well. We want visitors coming back to our shores again. It's in the past couple of years, our whole tourism industry has been decimated, and you know, Americans are a very, very wonderful part of London scenery, for example, each year, because you come over in your droves, you spend a lot of money, you're such lovely people to sort of talk to and work with as well, you know, and just so interested, you know, you're so interested, you know, I mean, the number of times you know, I've been in a hotel over the past couple of years, and someone has either recognized myself or Helena, and they come in and start talking about the royal family, you know, and you know, you can start building friendships. One lady who came from Canada, and she turned out to be a divorce lawyer from Canada, and she started talking to me. This went on for 3 hours.
Oh my
gosh! About the, you know, and then she messaged me, and then she sent me a message a year later, and she said, "Do you remember me?" I said, "Of course I do. You're the divorce lawyer," and she was just moving into her house. I mean, I got chapter and verse and her whole life.
Yeah, we had an absolute boom year last year for tourism in Scotland. I mean, a lot of it was the new concept of staycation. Rather than people traveling overseas to go for their holidays, it was all UK people who'd never really explored their own backyard. So the Scottish Highlands had a fabulous season last year. And I think it's going to be even busier this year as well, because now we've got foreign travel opening up again. And I believe it's tomorrow as well. It's even easier to get into the UK. Maybe not quite so easy to get out of it, but you know, we can certainly bring you in throngs and show you what we've got. So we'll have our staycationers as well as the overseas visitors coming in. It's going to be a phenomenal season this year, I think. We need to spread it.
It's such a wonderful country as well, you know, Scotland. You know, I've worked in Scotland for 7 years. I mean, some of the scenery, the beaches, the people, you know, I mean, different areas. So Glasgow, different to Edinburgh, you know, and there's almost like an east-west divide, I think, at times.
No man's land in Bathgate, yes.
Absolutely. But it is such a wonderful country, you know, and I think, you know, something I want to do this year as well, I actually want to investigate more about London. You know, I mean, there is so much going on in London all the time. And there's so many historic facts that, you know, seem to be happening. And I've bought this book now that is really going to sort of show me what's going on in London.
Is that one of many that you have in the shelf behind you, Ian? Maybe it's about to fall down.
And before, yes, it is dummies up on the top shelf, just in case. just in case anybody was trying to sneak underneath to see.
Yeah, when are you giving them back to Helena? Did she realise you'd taken them in the first place?
Simon, you're treading with death this afternoon.
I think we better go on to Helena and some of the other news.
Yeah, it's actually one of the things I wanted to say, Ian, I don't know whether you remember, just moving on, myself and Ian, we were invited to this lovely party, and it was at the Milestone Hotel. It was years and years ago, and it was quite star-studded, and it was a meet and greet, and we were going to be putting on an event, etc., and it was really lovely. But it reminded me, because I know Commonwealth Day that Ian touched on, that obviously Her Majesty the Queen couldn't attend due to mobility, but there was a representative from Tonga, a young lady who gave a fantastic speech at Commonwealth Day, just talking about how empowering Her Majesty the Queen was for the whole place, because they recently, well, I think actually not that long ago, they had a tsunami or something, so they didn't have electricity or anything. It was terrible, and they were so happy to have the whole Commonwealth on their side, which was lovely. But the reason why I bring it up is that we were just chatting with people. I don't know if Ian remembers, and we were talking with the King of Tonga.
Absolutely.
Absolutely no idea who the King of Tonga was, but it's absolutely charming. It was fabulous. So one of those fun situations that you find yourself in, and we actually got some great projects from there, which was lovely. But moving on from that, we do have some lovely clips. Actually, there is one thing that I do want to talk about just before we go into that, which is slightly set aside. And I know that in the last couple of days in Great Britain, we've been talking about it a lot. There is a massive, massive waiting list for NHS referrals in general, but more so mental health sort of waiting lists. And I haven't got the figures, but the pandemic especially has taken its toll on the vast amounts of people who are challenged, but more so have actually taken their lives. But moving on to that, it's just one very simple thing that I just wanted to share with everyone, which is a text service. And it's a text service, a very simple text service. It's free, it's confidential, 24/7 text messaging service, supporting anybody who is struggling to cope. And it's not registered on your phone bill or anything like that. And it's the only thing that has not been impacted, because obviously we're very, very behind. So you have to just text SHOUT, SHOUT, to a number which is 85258. Very simple. They are an amazing service, and I think it's really important that everyone shares that, because there's been lots of talks over the last few days which are quite surprising. So hopefully that will be of help to people.
Helena, what was that number to text SHOUT to?
It's 85258.
Thank you.
It's a really fantastic service, and it's lots of volunteers that are there ready 24/7 to help. Fantastic service. I think it's probably the best service actually we've got, that runs without fail all the time. A great thing to share. But we have some lovely, lovely clips that I think, do you think we should start with a clip?
Yes. Which one would you like to start with?
I mean, we've got some lovely ones. I'm just trying to think. I think we should start with, maybe we should start with violinists support Ukraine.
Yes.
Do we put that one to hand? This is just a little bit about it. So this is 94 violinists from 29 countries. It's quite amazing. It starts with one violinist in the Ukraine, actually, I think in a bunker at the time. And also everyone it's accompanied by world-class players, and the whole thing is it's a whole thesis, how can people help, and people are putting on things. We've got lots of things here in the UK as well, but this is being put on to raise money for various people obviously in the Ukraine, so it's really lovely and empowering.
And I have to say, technically, it's such a good one as well, because basically every violinist actually recorded themselves, and then it was sewn together. But the girl who started it is a girl from London who actually started this whole thing. And she just put a message out to her friends. And before she knew it, 94 other violinists came on as well. And it's the most incredible, I mean, just engineering wise, to actually sew that together. And then they're all in synchronization as well. It's just something fabulous. But what a great thing to actually show unity for the Ukraine as well.
Let's take a look. Wow.
It's really empowering clip, isn't it? It's very simple, but I love that idea of everyone taking part in something and creating that bigger story. People from all over the world. Lovely.
Yeah,
it really shows you. I'm sorry, Dr. Jacalyn, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, when I watched it last night, I literally was sobbing. It's just so, and the fact that they zoom in on the first person and you think it's just him, and then all of a sudden you see all these other people, it's truly amazing.
And I think just as much, the feeling that he is doing it in a bunker whilst rockets are firing overhead, ballistic missiles are firing overhead, and he's doing it in a bunker. And the beauty of it is that basically, I hope millions of people see it, first of all, and it gives people, and hopefully the message that's coming out today out of Ukraine is that peace talks seem to be going reasonably well at the moment. But for me, you wonder, well, it's all very well and good, and that there may be a peace deal done with Putin at the moment, but who's going to pay for all the damage that has happened, and who's going to look after the millions of people who have now been psychologically damaged by becoming refugees?
Exactly.
Helena, you were just talking about the fact that there in London, there's a wait list to get a referral. Imagine how many people are affected by this and their mental health. There's not enough practitioners out there to help people.
There's not. And quite interesting at the moment, there's lots of really qualified people, professionals at the moment. And it's a good thing to see, because they are sort of laying their cards on the table and coming up and being quite honest that it's bigger than them. We're so far behind. They're trying desperately hard to help people. It's really hard to keep up, and it's impacting on their mental health as well. But they talk about how they work through things, because we sort of automatically think there's this savior. This doctor's going to save me, or this psychiatrist, or whatever it might be, and they're absolutely run riot, because there's just so many people to help, and they obviously are very giving people, and everyone wants to help. It's a very, very tricky situation.
And I think the other problem that we have in Britain right now is I think there's over 100,000 vacancies for our medical profession. 100,000 just at this time as well, of doctors, nurses, and ancillary staff, and so it's a massive problem that we face. And one of the things that came out this week again was that, with what Helena was saying about the problems at the moment, because basically what's happening now is that our hospitals now are getting filled up with people who should have been in hospital or had appointments before, couldn't do because of COVID, and now their conditions have become much worse because of it. And so our hospitals are now filling up with people who may, if they had been treated earlier, they wouldn't be in hospital now, but it's going to create a brand new pandemic, if you like, a brand new tsunami of people who have become much worse because they couldn't be seen during the corona times.
Very true. I had a few conversations yesterday with different people, and everyone said the same thing. They were at their workplace, and that people are so angry that it's hard to do business. It's hard to have personal relationships or conversations because there's so much anger and fear and pain in the world.
Yeah. But I hope as well, there's so much hope, because the biggest thing that's coming out of this is people have come together, and that's the biggest thing. And that's the beauty of this show. Each week we link Scotland and England and America, and that's the beauty of a show like this, so that we can actually build bridges, we can talk about things, and I think doing things like this, it does bring people together. You look at the violinists, what an incredible thing to actually see. You look at the sheer humanity that's coming into Ukraine right now, and into Poland especially. There's so many countries coming in to actually support it. And probably one of the bravest things that happened yesterday was that 3 of the Slovak prime ministers, Estonia, Czechoslovakia, and I think Poland, all went to stay with the president of Ukraine. Actually went to Ukraine, to where he was. And of course, if something had happened to them, that would be another example of World War III starting up, because they're all NATO countries as well. And if they were hit, there'd be all sorts of problems. So I think, people, although this is the worst thing that could actually possibly happen, in reality, it's bringing people together as well. And in a rather obtuse way, what a great thing to do as well. It just shows how much humanity there is in this world.
You're right as well. I mean, it's always in times of strife and hardship and upset. It always brings actually out the best in people as well, doesn't it? And there is a huge amount of people. I mean, there's a huge amount of love from everyone, but everyone's putting on events, everyone's launching things. It's all to raise money, and they're all doing it out of the goodness of their hearts to help. I mean, as it is, we're talking about the people in Ukraine, and it's really, really, really heartwarming, and it's lovely to be able to share it, as you say, on the USA Global TV. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. And just to be able to share sort of like good news and good positive journalism to get it out there. It's so important, because as we know, we have this 24/7 news coming in. Yes, a lot of it's negative, but we have to pull out the good things as well. It's so important, and we all need to hear it. We absolutely need to hear it. So it's fabulous.
I think as well, Scotland is leading the way.
I was going to say that, because look at Scotland taking in all those people.
Scotland is leading the way already, because at the moment, Nicola Sturgeon, is trying to force Boris Johnson's hand a lot more, and she's already saying that they're going to offer better facilities in Scotland for Ukrainian refugees. And it's almost embarrassing Johnson into doing something himself as well again. So I know. Well, I'm half Scottish anyway, so I know the pure hearts of Scotland. Anyway, what a great race they are at the same time, as a nation. But thank goodness at times
Yeah, and we need the staff. We really do. Unemployment figures in Scotland are way lower than they are south of the border in England, and we've had so many workers coming in from the old Eastern European countries. Fantastic people. They're so willing, and they've actually helped to shape our industry in Scotland, to shape our tourism as well. They're tremendous people. And when I had my food smoking business, I had a couple of Polish workers there, and I wish I had a whole brigade of them, because they got on with the job. You show them how to do something once, and they did it to perfection after that, and they never clock watched. And they were so polite, they were so nice. It was just wonderful people. So there's opportunity for these people again here, because with the shake-up we'd had before through the government, I'm trying not to get political, but so many of them had their visas cancelled and had to go back home, and it left a great big void in particular in the hospitality industry, but also in my own line, the fishing industry and aquaculture industry as well. Great big void of just not being able to get enough people. So, would love to welcome the Ukrainians in particular into the country. And we've got jobs waiting for them as well. We'll do everything we can to help. We're quite a friendly lot nowadays. We don't wear woad anymore.
A kill for every new worker. No.
I just want to throw in there, I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on this, but I think around the world when we hear, okay, so they're going to refugee camps, so many people have no idea what a refugee camp looks like. So they put something in their brain, but it probably isn't anything close to reality. And having worked in a refugee camp in Vietnam, and then seeing one a couple of years ago up on a hilltop in Lebanon, looking over at the Syrians in Lebanon, because we weren't allowed in there. And that was even more devastating than the one that I was actually in. I just worry about people going, okay, I'm going to send money, but they really don't understand. As Helena was saying, mentally the anguish, there's no diapers, there's no water, or maybe they have some, but how far out do they have to wait before they get it? And can you tell I get really anxious about people really understanding the humanity of it all.
Yeah. In Scotland, there's so many people are actually opening their homes to refugees to come in, and they've got a spare cottage or whatever, they're welcome in there. We've got a friend who's he's an East Coaster, and he's from Fife. He's Scot through and through, but he's also got a place out in South Africa, and he's got a spare cottage in his beautiful grounds there. And he said, really welcome to have the Ukrainian family come, and they can have the place rent-free, get them back on their feet, get them sorted out and calm down with all the trauma they've been going through. So, we do open our hearts, and it's good to see. And I think this is something that should go on everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's just hope that the red tape, I hope that we can just get through this now, because I think Ian, you probably think as well, we have this great scheme at the moment and everyone's opening their doors, but at the same time, we've still got to process it, and it's still got to work. So we can all open our hearts, and there can be lots of
First and foremost, we've got to get these people to a place of safety. That's the most important thing. Never mind visas or bureaucracy or anything like that. Get them out of there. Get them into safe places. It's so important.
So important. Do you know what? I think it would be great to play. We have a clip, and it's It's actually titled "We Stand Together," which I think is appropriate at the moment. It's a lovely, lovely song. It's very much is sort of twinkled into Great Britain at the moment, although it's been made in Georgia, I think, by two sponsors, which are in fact banks. Georgia used to be part of the Soviet Union, but now it's independent. Well, it's been independent for a long, long time. So it's quite poignant that it's been made by them. I think that it's in Georgia, there's something like 5 million people that live, but it's a really lovely, lovely song. I'm hoping that Dr. Jacalyn has got access to that. I know she's always having to do all the stuff.
I got it right here.
Listening and doing all the stuff.
I have it here. I'm happy to show it.
Just call my name if you ever feel down or feel afraid, 'cause nothing is stronger than men who stand as one for a long time.
All the things that pass, million times the troubles seem to be
easy, and days felt so bright with you.
I remember you always been my family member.
That's the time when we need to stand together. I made this song for you. Hope it reaches and puts a little bit
Smile on you
and fills your mind with hope, because you're not alone. We're together in this love. We stand forever.
Peace is what we need. Everyone knows the truth, no matter which side you pick. You might realize
you're not alone. We're together in this love. We stand forever.
one thing to remember, and magic words we need. Slava Ukraini, навіки.
Great.
Georgian Red Cross. It's just their voices, and it says it all, doesn't it? It made me think as well how music, whether it be song, singing, it's a universal language, isn't it? And so you just feel that emotion. It's incredible.
Right.
And I think the very last clip of the young girl, that's got you.
Yeah. It shows again hope, because with our youth in the future.
Absolutely.
But what I was going to say earlier, Helena, is you're so right. In Deer Park High School, in where I grew up, they're on the cornerstone of because the school's much older when schools were built with cornerstones. The music department says, "Through music, mankind has understanding," and I have always found that so powerful. And the two clips we've shown today really expresses that, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely, it absolutely does. Funny enough, just going back slightly, the violinists that we were playing, it's actually an old Ukrainian folk song. But even then, you don't really need to hear the words or understand, or because it's sound, but you almost can feel the whole movement through it.
Mm-hmm.
That it's one of those things I almost can't express it. It's bigger than how I can express it. Yeah, so it was lovely. Really, really loved that.
But wouldn't it be wonderful if all schools today still had cornerstones with beautiful quotes that kids, when they sat down to have lunch, starting from very young, where they just had these wonderful quotes in front of them to always remember to have magic, to be kind, you know. I think it would help.
Perhaps, Diana, that might be another children's book. I mean, quite seriously, because do you know what? The thing right now is if you look at the displacement, was it 1.7 million people have come out of Ukraine? The vast majority actually either read English or speak English, but at least 2/3 of those numbers are young children. You know, I think it's important right now to give the mothers hope, because the mothers are holding in all the terror that they're really sort of facing, so that they don't relate it to their children. But I think the children can see and empathize with this terror as well. And so I think it's very important, you know, for books to be created now to actually give children hope.
That's so true.
Definitely true. Helena, I know there are two more clips. Do you want to tee up either of them?
Do you know, there's one. I mean, maybe we should play it. It's sort of like almost. There's one actually, which is of a Ukrainian woman, and they're having to flee their house in. I can't remember the exact place. I don't think it's Kyiv. But you can just see that she's obviously this is all about music, isn't it, today? She's obviously a great pianist. And just before they're running off, her daughter films her doing a last boom, boom, boom on her grand piano. And what I found amazing is also seeing the house they were having to leave. Obviously, it had a bit of a blitz, not completely knocked down. But I think rather than me just talk, let's show it. Let's show it. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn.
Давай. Не получается.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
So,
incredible. And what a pianist as well. It's absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
And in amongst all that rubble that was their home, that took a lot of heart and a lot of soul to do.
yeah,
And
and I think it
the
shows.
the most miraculous thing as well was the only thing that wasn't damaged was the grand piano.
no, that's
That's amazing.
You know, and apparently the daughter made the mother, who's a concert pianist, play the piano because they thought they may never see that piano again.
That thought came to
this
me.
is their last memory.
Yeah, and to see how beautiful as well the house is. You know, it's just a reminder that, you know, this is a humanitarian crisis. You know, the people of the Ukraine, they don't want to be traveling. They don't want to leave their homes and their everything around them, and they don't want to be, you know, coming to us in Great Britain. Really, they just want their country back, and it's such an eye opener to see it, isn't it, like that?
And don't forget as well, every time a civilian house is hit, that's a war crime.
Yeah.
That's classified as a war crime. This is not a military home or a military installation. So every time a civilian place is hit in any way, shape, or form, that is another war crime. And before too long, you know, that's got to go to the Hague, in Europe, and that's got to be seen. I don't know how they're going to get out of this mess because they've got to try and keep Putin happy as well. Unfortunately, so that he doesn't go even any further at this moment in time. But the whole of Russia is now going to suffer. The people of Russia are going to suffer who don't even know that this is going on.
This is going on. Yeah. Yeah.
I know. So we played most of the clips, but I know we did have another clip, which was just what's happening here at the moment. There are lots of events taking place in all of our great music halls, you name it, and it's all, you know, obviously in support of Ukraine. And the other day we had in our lovely Royal Albert Hall, we had our Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and they played the Ukrainian national anthem. It was during an event that was there, and we've got quite a few that are coming up in the next few days. And we also have a clip of that. I don't know, do we have time maybe to play it?
Yes, I think this is a good way to close out the show.
Yeah,
Let's take a look.
That's what I was thinking.
Here at the Royal Albert Hall. Now, before we start, all of us here at the RPO and the Royal Albert Hall felt it would be appropriate to pause and reflect on the terrible unfolding events in the Ukraine and to express our collective outrage. To express our collective outrage at the unlawful invasion of this sovereign state and the senseless loss of life. So, we invite you now to stand in solidarity with the Ukraine nation and its people as we play the Ukrainian national anthem.
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
It was nice to see so many people out and together. It looked like it was almost a full house.
Yeah, it's. I think the capacity, if I remember, is over 20,000 in the Royal Albert Hall. I seem to know that a very quick story, because I know we haven't got much time left. But at one time in my career, I worked for Playboy, and I used to work for the Playboy.
Stop, please. Wait, stop for 1 minute.
I lost 5 bunny girls one night in the Royal Albert Hall.
Wait, we need some backstory to this.
Can I just say something? We are just closing this great show.
Okay.
We'll have saved that at least till next week.
Yes, okay.
Time goes to the neighborhood.
You've been reading too many of those books above your head.
They're all due to go back tomorrow.
Well,
I can tell you one fact about the Royal Albert Hall, because, as I say, I lost the bunny girls. If you go around all the tiers of the Royal Albert Hall, it's 2.5 miles.
Wow.
Oh
my gosh.
True story.
And is Frederica performing there now or no?
She will be. I'm not sure she's doing it at this moment.
I think she's in Berlin at the moment.
And she's just come back, hasn't she?
She's amazing.
Working on lots of things. But
Maybe
anyway,
we can have her on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, she's got an amazing voice.
Incredible.
Great story.
Before we do sign off, I would love for Helena and Ian for you to talk about your show, because I'm just loving it and learning so much. I love the backdrop and the clips that you're playing about what's going on in the area. Who wants to talk about it?
I did want Buckingham Palace, but Helena said
Save the stories to next week.
Yes. Okay, perfect. All right, I'm going to spotlight each of you and your contact information I have right here. We'll start with Diann.
Everyone, thanks for the show. Thank you guys for bringing us such amazing clips and opening our eyes and teaching the world what's going on. I appreciate it so much. Everyone, you can reach me at diannfloydboehm.com, DIANNFLOYD, B as in boy, OEHM.com. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thank you. And Helena, I have your email address. I hope that's okay.
That's fine, abcpresenter@gmail.com, but there will be a new one to come shortly. But also via Instagram or LinkedIn, Helena Chard, HELENACHARD. Yes, which you have there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Ian, I was going to write for your contact information to contact Helena, but instead I have put follow you on Facebook.
absolutely. It's just, I mean, but I love hearing from people, obviously, if people can either contact myself or Helena, if they want to come on our shows, or if they got sort of things they want us to bring up.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And Simon, I have your email address.
Indeed, yes. And I'd like to thank everybody and all the people of Boston for doing such fantastic hospitality for us, looking after us. I've put a few pounds on since I've been here, I think. And thank you for the sore head in the morning. It was well earned. And everybody, right down the taxi drivers here are amazing as well. I mean, there's some real characters in amongst them. So, and they seem to appreciate Scotsmen running around the place wearing kilts. So thank you, Boston. We will be back. And you can get hold of me at macdonaldsimon@ymail.com. It's not Gmail, it's ymail.com.
All right. Thank you so much. And really a huge heartfelt appreciation to all of you for being here, because it is so amazing that we're in different parts of the world and we get to hear firsthand and have a conversation just like we're sitting in a living room, as opposed to reading doom and gloom or hearing about it on the network news. I just learned so much from each and every one of you. And I think the takeaway for me is always about positivity. It's about mindfulness. It's about connection across the world, and it's about hope. So God bless you all, and thank you for doing the show with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Folks, we're signing off. Diann and I will be back on the latest trends for spring cleaning. So do join us for that. You can stay wherever you are. Diann and I will go get changed, and then we'll be back. So
you started on Helena's shelves there as well, haven't you? They're as clean as a whistle.
All right, folks, we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.